Good morning, YouTubers. Let's begin with Will and Kate's birthday greeting to Meghan on Instagram. This picture of Meghan smiling is the moment when Harry and Meghan walked onto the steps of the Thanksgiving service for the Queen's Jubilee, and everyone was booing them. Okay, so Harry and Meghan then canceled like all of their appearances and then flew back to California immediately. That's a burn. Will and Kate were being polite, recognizing her birthday. This way, no one can fault Will and Kate and accuse them of being racist because they didn't wish Meghan, the biracial Duchess, happy birthday. I would note that the Queen did not wish Meghan a happy birthday. None of Meghan's celebrity friends wished Meghan a happy birthday. Okay, who did Meghan invite to her wedding? All celebrities. Who did not wish Meghan a happy birthday? Ellen DeGeneres did not. Oprah, George Clooney, Jessica Mulroney, her bestest friend, Jessica Mulroney, who is now canceled. The Hub Community Kitchen. Wow, this is an organization. They didn't wish Meghan a happy birthday. SmartWorks, the United Nations, none of the Suits actors. Okay, Meghan's claim to fame, including Patrick J. Adams. Remember how he defended her so ferociously? And that was very recently. Nothing. Crickets. Daniel Martin did not wish Meghan a happy birthday. He's her ride or die, the hairdresser who cried on Gayle King for Meghan. Nothing. Finally, Tyler Perry did wish Meghan a happy birthday, but it was a day late. His posting was gracious and kind and well written, and some are noticing that Meghan is kissing her own thumb in this photo and not the little girl's hand. Personally, I have a very negative reaction when I see this photo. It just feels so staged to me and insincere. Where did everybody go? It all just seems to be drying up. Where are the Spotify podcasts they were paid millions of dollars to produce? Where are their Netflix documentaries? What's next? I mean, is Harry going to tell his truth again about how hard it was growing up royal? Is Meghan going to commission Omid Scobie to write Finding Freedom 2? Well, yeah, that's exactly what's about to happen. Meghan makes the list of Hollywood's 25 most hated stars. Wow. Who do we got here? Ellen, the meanest person in Hollywood. Harvey Weinstein. He should be more prominent, same size as Ellen. Tucker Carlson. That's the white supremacy narrative the media keeps pushing. He's so hated that Tucker Carlson has the highest ratings in his time slot for Tucker Carlson tonight. Something like 3 or 5 times the viewership of CNN during the same time slot. Yeah, hated. We have Mel Gibson. He went on a drunken rant at his daughter, or was it his ex-girlfriend? How much does she hate him to do that to him? I actually am a big fan of Mel Gibson. Braveheart, love it. The Suffering of the Christ movie, I'm not sure what it's called, but wow. He has big cojones, this one. Marie Osmond, I have no idea why she's on there. Kanye, I actually really like Kanye, and I feel like Kim Kardashian smeared his reputation in preparation to divorce him and get full custody of the kids, which she succeeded in doing. He needs to learn to keep his mouth shut. Lori Loughlin, don't know anything about her. Then there's Meghan. Wow. So all this virtue signaling, going to Uvalde, laying flowers, working in the soup kitchen, delivering meals during the pandemic, and those were doubles, by the way. No one believes it. The public believes that she's doing it all just for the money and the fame. They consider Meghan a gold digger who married a prince. So all this, she's a proud black woman, oppressed, a feminist, it's not working. The public is just simply not believing it. Which brings us to Thomas Markle Jr.'s video wishing Meghan a happy 41st birthday. Let's read it. And I would encourage you to watch his video yourself. If I remember, I'm going to post a link to his video because it's worth watching. I can't show it here really because I'll just get nailed by YouTube. Happy 41 years, dog years, rough. Old, quote, old in quotations, Meg. Love Dad, #1. Tom Jr., Babe. So I think they called her Babe. His video in the card is very sarcastic and snarky. It skirts the edge of really being like mean-spirited. The first thing I want to point out is that Tom Jr. Tom Jr. is in Rosarito, Mexico, and you can tell by the colors in the hotel room. And he says so when he makes this video. Where's Dad? He's like in the next room, but he doesn't want to be on film wishing Meghan a happy birthday. Last year, Dad sent Meghan a bouquet of flowers telling her how much he loves her and to call him. This year, nothing. Dog years is interesting. They're hinting that Meghan is older than 41, which through her classmates and her comments in 17 magazine done years ago really identifies her age. She's either 45 or 46, and I'm actually hoping that Tom Bauer really finally nails it down and puts it in print, and I think he does. So no wonder Meghan needed to use surrogates to have children with Harry, because she's too old. Okay, so for all of you ladies who think you're going to have children at 50, here's one who can't. Next is the note from Thomas Sr. Dad. Happy birthday, Flower. Okay, I think that's his nickname for her. Happy 41. You go, girl. No, I really mean that. Just go. I kind of wonder if that's really from Thomas Markle, but if it is, wow. I mean, this sounds like Dad has given up hope of ever seeing his little girl Meghan ever again, or the grandchildren, whether you believe those children actually exist or not. And perhaps Meghan can't show her father the grandbabies because they're all just a revolving door of actors and actresses like Lassie. If Meghan continues to refuse to see her father and her father doesn't pass on to the next life very soon, what's left? I think Meghan, in my opinion, will inevitably need to accuse her father of doing unspeakable things to her when she was younger. Something so horrible that everyone will say, oh, of course Meghan doesn't want to see her father. And she's going to need to paint him as a monster. Or ultimately, people are going to start deciding that she is the monster. And that's what we actually see going on here. That's what she's one of the 25 most hated people in Hollywood. Thomas Sr. was always like an angel protecting his daughter, and maybe he's finally choosing Samantha and Thomas Jr.'s side against himself. He's really choosing his own side against Meghan. And when it rains, it pours. I'm sure many of you have been through hard times like I've been through hard times. When it rains, it pours. When stuff starts going bad, it's not one thing, it's not two things, it's like a million things all at once. And I actually wonder if this is kind of stressing Meghan out, because it seems like we're reaching the tipping point for Meghan's popularity or unpopularity in the United States. Let's take a look at these things. Let's see what the cards want to tell us today. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. All right. So, is it over? Is Hollywood finally turning against Meghan? Because, I don't know, it's not been this bad before. I mean, this is really bad. I mean, who wishes you happy birthday? That's who supports you. Those are your supporters. And like all of Hollywood is no longer supporting Meghan. And there's good reasons for that. They understand powerful people. Like Harvey Weinstein he got away with it for 25 years, and he was such an abusive, terrible person. And I guarantee you, I know of other people in Hollywood who are as abusive as Harvey Weinstein. Okay, and they're still getting away with it. Okay, why? Because he was powerful. He was a kingmaker. He was a queenmaker, and he was very powerful. And slandering the royal family, they might be over there in England, but that's just not something that movie stars want to be doing. They don't want to be associated with slandering the royal family constantly. You know, you better have some really good proof. And that's kind of what I see going on. So has Hollywood finally turned against Meghan? Because it's looking pretty bad right now. Ongoing basis. Honest woman. Okay. Talking. Oh, my goodness. 10 spades and 9 spades. So do we have Hollywood finally turning against Meghan? Well, it doesn't get really bad until the end. 10 spades is the worst possible outcome. 9 spades is a full stop. Only 2 queens showing, no kings. Those are the only people cards, person cards. Let's read it. 5 diamonds. Jacob's ladder. On an ongoing basis. They just keep complaining. I was playing some kickball the other day, and there was this woman, and she just kept complaining. It was just a constant tirade of complaints. And then very suddenly somebody got sick of it and she left. And I haven't seen her since. I mean, that's what Meghan is doing. You're just complaining. I mean, just play some kickball, bro. Or do that. Just play some kickball. I mean, do this with the mouth. Okay? Close the mouth and play some kickball. I mean, close the mouth, Meghan. I mean, you want to live a private life? Live a private life. Who's stopping you? Okay? Do what you say you're doing, not exactly the opposite of what you say you're doing on a continuing basis. So on a continuing basis, the honest woman is talking, and it never shuts up. So 12 and 9, 21, 26, outside events. She's blaming outside circumstances. The royal family was racist against Archie. They caused her almost to commit suicide. They took away her passport, even though she was traveling all over the world during this time, and they wouldn't let her go out or talk to anybody, and there was no support. Okay, yeah, right. The situation, she's talking about the situation on an ongoing basis, and the family. Cross and 10 diamonds are the most permanent cards, so she's talking about, this is a great family card and a permanence card. And as things come up, she's just constantly throwing shade at them to the whole world, talking, more talking on an ongoing basis, every opportunity, and hoping that it brings down the royal family. Well, it's not working out. And with a strategy like this, 10 spades, 9 spades, either the person you're slandering is brought down, or you're brought down, and that's what's happening. It's all kicking back on her. So like, I hear things like, if you are very critical of somebody, people who are listening to you will attribute the criticisms that you're making to others to the person who's making the criticisms. And over time, that's what's happening. All the criticisms they're laying against the royal family, this and that and this and that, it's all bouncing back on Meghan and Harry. And Harry, because he's with Meghan and he keeps coming out and saying stupid things, which is ruining him. The Hollywood is turning. It was all well and fine for a long time, but now it's all just turning against them. And I think people are getting sick of hearing it. Like Chicken Little, just keeps saying the sky is falling, the royal family is terrible, this and that. And the big tell is the family, Thomas Jr., is Thomas giving up on ever seeing his daughter Meghan again? Because that's what it looks like to me. So let's look at Thomas and Meghan. Has Thomas finally given up? He's just, because that video by, what he showed, the card and the handwritten note by allegedly Thomas Sr. Wow. So is Dad giving up? Dad, separated, blocked. Meghan. Oh my goodness, what the heck is that going on there? Hey, has Thomas given up? Look, it's all spades. Ace of spades, 2 spades, 5 spades. 7, 8 adds 2 spades. The broken relationship, he's blocked. He can't get to her and cut out. So, yeah, Thomas has really given up. What's up with Meghan? The way is clear. She's a virtue signaler, and this is how she lives her life. 12 and 7, 19, 5 clubs. She goes this way, she goes that way. She actually feels like everything is just fine in her relationship with her father, which is crazy. How crazy is that? She is just she's a wrecking ball in his life, just destroying his life, destroying his reputation. And maybe that's how a narcissist acts. They succeed when you fail. They don't feel that they're a success unless you fail. And this is her plan. She's destroying her father. That's success for her. Manifesting relationship. 13, 19, 5 clubs. Weird. So she feels like everything is going exactly to plan. And he's like, I give up. And he should give up. You don't allow people to abuse you and mistreat you and make excuses about it. Whatever they do, just take them for what they're actually doing. Did Thomas Markle write that note? You go, Meghan. No, really, just go. Okay, was it actually Thomas Markle who wrote that note, or is that a deception? I'm going to see deception cards if that was not actually Thomas Markle who wrote that note. Was that actually Thomas Markle? 3 diamonds. We have a 2. Is that actually Thomas Markle who wrote that note? We have a 2, handcuffs, connected to him. But there's other people involved for the world. 5 and 8, 13, 4 hearts. The family wrote that. Okay, so if that's his handwriting, he was involved. 2 clubs. He was involved, but there's other people involved in the family. Jack of clubs, strength is a great rooted family card. 10, 13, and it adds 4 hearts. So Thomas Jr. and Samantha, they influenced him to write this. Okay, so if he wrote it, he was influenced. He didn't really want to write it. That wasn't like his idea. But he was involved and he didn't stop them. So in a sense, he's definitely involved, but I don't think that that's what he was trying to communicate. If you left it just up to Thomas Markle, that's not exactly what he would communicate to Meghan. They're convincing Thomas Sr. to be on their side, okay, against Meghan. Will Meghan finally accuse her father of horrible, unspeakable things to save face? Okay, because she's just been raking him over the coals for 3 years, saying that he's every bad thing, just like the royal family is every bad thing. Is she finally going to, within the next 2 years, is she going to finally come out with some horrendous accusation that he did this and he did that? Because that's the age we live in, the Me Too movement. A lot of those women are just flat out lying. And some of those women, were abused by Harvey Weinstein. But even some of the no, it wasn't Harvey Weinstein. The Harvey Weinstein accusers, my goodness. String that man up and cut his nuts off and then grind him up in a meat grinder. He's a terrible, terrible person. And there's more like that in Hollywood. Okay, and they should be exposed. And it's not just men. That's Hollywood. Okay, that's Hollywood. There's tremendous abuses over there. And wherever evil is, wherever there's tremendous evil, there's tremendous sexual perversions going on. Okay, those things always go together. Okay, and you can even see this in the depictions of Satan. He's depicted as a satyr, and a hermaphrodite with female breasts and male genitalia. That's so. But there's a lot of false accusers. There was a lot of false accusers to our recent Supreme Court pick. I forget his name. And in fact, I think they were all completely false accusers. Because if anything stuck to him, he wouldn't be on the Supreme Court. My goodness, this is terrible.
So this kind of crapola happens all the time, and it's really, really evil. And this has to stop. This has to stop, and it's not stopping. It's increasing. So will Meghan accuse her father of some horrendous things, unspeakable things within the next 2 years? Meghan and Thomas. Because there'll be no repercussions for Meghan. Some people will support Meghan, and even if 99% of the world's like, that's bullshit, which is what's going to happen. 90 to 99% are going to be like, that never happened. What a load of crap. Okay? But even so, nothing bad is going to happen to Meghan. Nothing. So there's nothing stopping her from making the most heinous things and ruining. She has already ruined this poor man's life. And there's only one word for that, and that word is evil. That's evil when people do that, and that's very common in society right now, and it needs to stop, and it will. There will be, there's going to be a rubber band effect against this horrible abuse of men that is occurring in society since, I don't know, 1970 or something. But since I've been alive, these men have just, normal, healthy, good men like Thomas Markle, who did nothing but take care of his family and be so generous to his daughter. I mean, he could be sacrificed to Satan any second. So let's see. This is Meghan. This is Thomas. Is she planning within the next 2 years, as opportunity presents itself, working everything together in the family? 8, 11, 3 clubs. There's nothing here indicating that she is actually planning to do that. So thank God for that. I mean, it takes a ruthless psychopath to do that. And yet we apparently have so many ruthless psychopaths walking around in society right now who do that all the time to people, make false accusations and ruin people's lives. Horrible. Thomas, the way is open, cross, and I think he's going to pass out of this world. This can be, these cards, ace of spades, 7 clubs, and 7 hearts, can be interpreted, he's going to pass on to the next world before this could happen, before this can happen to him. Which, I mean, the man is in ill health. He's not well. And he doesn't seem to be doing much to get his health. In fact, he doesn't seem to be doing anything to get his health better. His health just seems to be declining. So I actually think that Thomas will pass on before Meghan feels the need to play those cards. Reacting to the full stoppage, 14. 4 diamonds, 14. 4 diamonds. Yeah, I actually think he's going to pass on before she can do that to him. But I personally am I am someone who thinks that Meghan would play that card without a conscience. And I find it so interesting that, I asked, has Thomas finally given up on Meghan? And Thomas has finally given up on Meghan. He's given up on seeing Meghan, seeing the children. And on Meghan's side, it's just everything is going according to plan. What could possibly be wrong? Meghan feels like she's winning. That's like absolutely psychopathic. The Hollywood is turning against Meghan, because if you slander somebody, you slander them. Eventually it circles back and it hits you. If you don't destroy them, your slander destroys you. Okay, and that is what's happening to Meghan. And Thomas, the father, was involved in writing that note. Okay, huge tells here. Number one, he's in the next room, or he's down the street in Rosarita. I don't think Thomas Jr. has much money, so that's probably not a hotel room. Thomas Markle probably has a 2-bedroom, and that's one of the bedrooms. And Thomas Sr., the dad, is probably sitting in the living room, like at that moment while he's filming that, and he can hear it all through the walls. Okay, that's how close Thomas Markle is. And even if Thomas Jr. was down the street in a hotel room, which I don't think he can afford that, because the dude was homeless and then went to live with somebody, one of his relatives, because he was literally homeless after what happened with his wife, and there was a gun, and he was drunk, and blah 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 blah. And that's another good example of just destroying a man, just for any reason. Now, was he guilty? Did he make a mistake? Yeah. But what would have happened to a woman who did exactly the same thing as Thomas Markle Jr.? Not much. Maybe nothing at all. Okay, and yet his life was completely ruined, and he became homeless. Oh, that's good. He did a bad thing. And then I mean, I don't think Thomas Jr. can afford to stay in a hotel room in Rosary. That's $50 a night. I don't think he has that kind of money. So he's probably staying with his dad. You know, the man is almost 60, staying with his dad. Okay. Goodness gracious. I think it's disgusting how men in general are treated in society at this time. Okay, well, that's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Please like and share and subscribe.